like that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she would kind of be like, she's in that area, but she just recently got a prison sentence for lying about, oh, I forget what it was, some stupid shit, some
Yeah.
racist shit, and she got a prison sentence for like 60 days, which is
That's
quite interesting.
Yeah, that's something. That's
Yeah, at least it feels like at least some sort of justice in how we deal with things, but we don't deal with the same problems as you guys. There's so many more facets that you guys deal with.
Yeah, can you imagine if American politicians were sent to jail for lying? That would be crazy. People lie all the time in America.
Yeah, I think it's mostly the we do have. I think Denmark is it's usually one of the most the least corrupt countries in the world if you rate it on the corruption index. Sometimes it's Sweden, sometimes it's Norway. That's kind of switched between those, but it is kind of hard for us sometimes to like, oh shit, people can just get paid off. Well, we do have that in Denmark. Like, we're not like immune to corruption, but it's still kind of it's still so much worse in other countries. Like, sometimes you just kind of like completely stand in disbelief of like how people can just like, oh, if you don't have money, you can't run for office. Like, that just seems completely insane to me.
Yeah, I guess in America, if you do get caught in like a barefaced lie, you do get in trouble. I don't know if you get sent to jail though. What exactly did she get sent to jail for? Like,
oh man, let me just look it up before I like.
Yeah, if you don't know,
this is it's very recent.
Yeah, if you don't know, then you don't have to. Yeah.
Well, as I explained, like, I'm terrible at Danish politics. Well, I don't know if I explained that.
For sure.
It's kind of embarrassing actually. I'm pretty terrible at it.
But
I'm way more read on American politics than I am on Danish politics, which is a red mark against me, I think.
Yeah, well, American politics, it is pretty interesting, and America is like the center of like the world, whether we like it or not. Like, it does matter.
I do think it's a feeling on my part though that I because there's a lot of politics that's interesting in Denmark that I just kind of I'm on the periphery of it, and I'm too fucking lazy to actually follow it because a lot of it is like policy based, and man, it's easy to like think like of course we should have socialized healthcare, but we already have that in Denmark. So the nuances are more like, oh, how much money should like an individual healthcare worker get paid?
Yeah, that's
and I have like, how the fuck should I know, man? I don't know.
It gets dry pretty quickly. I mean, it seems like, oh, Boy Meets Minnie is going later. See ya. Thanks for sticking around.
Yeah.
For as long as you did. Drop by again sometime. But anyway, it seems like Denmark or like Scandinavia is like less fucked than most of the rest of the world. Like, so you got most of your stuff figured out already. So it's like, there's not much.
I do agree that we do benefit from a lot of like American or just like Western imperialism. I do agree with that sentiment. The only reason we can have the society we do right now is because we have a lot of good allies, like the U.S., for instance.
Yeah, that, and you've benefited from like your own imperialists' projects in the past too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I do think like if you were like with what we have, we've done pretty well. For like just the system we have, trying to like make it work for average people who live in the country, right? Yeah. The thing we just need to get better at is like people who come into the country and people who live outside the country. But it is quite hard for like a small country of like last I checked was like 5.5 million people. Like, we're not a lot of people. Like most, like London is more people than live in Denmark. It's, it's quite a small country, so we can only do so much. But I do think we should strive always to like do the best we can, right?
Yeah, true. That's why people say like Scandinavia a lot instead of like specific countries in Scandinavia. Yeah.
I do think when people like make those kind of arguments, they should try to like be specific, because that's gonna throw a lot of people off guard, because most like American conservatives are fucking brain dead. Like, they don't know shit. Like, they live in a different planet. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Anything they say about Scandinavia, just throw it out the window. Like, nothing makes sense. We've even had like journalists, like, I think it was like one Fox News reporter like talking about Denmark, like, oh, they all just want to make cupcake factories or some shit. I was like,
oh yeah.
And like the Danish journalist was just like, okay, if they want to make that, what's wrong with that? Because we're way better at like sustaining like small businesses than the U.S. is. So it's like, isn't that like kind of a slight?
This wolf is chasing this fox. Wait, can I tame the wolf? Oh shit.
Do you want to interfere with nature though?
Dude. Oh, I don't think I can do it when he's angry. Do I save the fox or yeah? I don't know. Sorry, buddy.
Oh shit.
Oh well. Wait.
Oh, well.
What about now? Nope.
I can tame it now.
Oh, I got him. Yay! We got a dog. What's up, buddy?
Make sure he doesn't kill any more foxes.
Yeah. Once he's
farm
tamed,
reduction, right?
Yeah. We gotta make him more docile. We gotta teach him the peaceful ways of the left. Exactly. Yeah. He won't automatically like attack wild animals like once he's tame, but he'll attack whatever I attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Or anyone who attacks me, he'll attack, which is good. Actually, he won't attack creepers because he'll just explode on creepers will just explode on him. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, if we don't have coal, we can just use charcoal instead. To make torches.
Man, they expanded the game so much.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff. I think charcoal's been around for a while. Yeah. But anyway, what the? Why are there so many zombies? What the heck?
It's nighttime, right?
Yeah. Oh shit! Oh, I thought I heard a creeper. Jesus Christ. Let's just kill these guys. Watch this. Go get him, doggy. Haha. Nice.
Stick him. There you go.
Come at me. Anyway, what were we talking about? Like the Fox News people. Yeah, they I mean, they just don't know anything about like other countries. Like most American conservatives never even leave America. Some of them don't even leave their home state. Some of them just stay in like Alabama or wherever, or like Oklahoma. Like, it's so insular here, where like, yeah.
But like, I'd even say that's the same as Europe. I feel, well, at least I feel a lot of nationalism, even like in Danish culture. We have a lot of that, just in a different way. So it feels like we're very proud of our welfare system, stuff like that, and that kind of manifests itself as some kind of nationalism in its own way.
Okay.
So we'll say things like, at least we're not like America, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
It's just a different kind of insularism. I don't know how you pronounce that, but yeah.
Yeah,
well, and I feel like a lot of, like, if you go to the Europe subreddit, for instance, or like America Say Shit or something like that, it's like Americans saying shit, or I don't remember what it's called, but it's just
shit America
a lot
says
of
or something. Yeah.
Shit America says, yeah. There's a lot of like, sometimes I'll post like, is that really like? It sounds like a fair criticism of Europe. And they're just like, no, fuck you. They just downvote me to hell. It feels like some like there's still some that kind of feeling like, oh, we're that kind of subgroup within a subgroup.
Yeah. Well,
The Europe people or the Danish people compared to everyone else. Like just even like the friendly rivalry between Denmark and Sweden, well, that will often it can manifest as some very toxic kind of nationalism in a way.
Yeah, I was
So,
watching.
so I wouldn't be too worried about it. Oh well, maybe worried, but I wouldn't feel like it's only an American thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, being proud of your country for having a good healthcare system is different than like with the reasons America is proud of their country. Like, I would be proud of America if they could actually like do some decent healthcare reform. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just I remember when I was studying abroad in California, in San Jose. I was like just talking to some American students. I was like, well, I don't have to pay for my studies. They're supported by the Danish government, and I get paid every month for studying. I was just, and they were completely like floored. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. Could you imagine?
I have no debt. I have never had any debt in my life. It's just, it's insane to me that people have to deal with that for so long. Just for like, I want to engage with the job market in any way.
That is insane. Like, yeah, here in America, like, I don't know, like conservatives like don't like students. It's crazy. It's like they see them as like lazy or like freeloaders or whatever, and it's like you have to be a student in order to get like a good job. But they like resent students because like education makes you more left-leaning or whatever, or it's like they just don't see it as a real job, which is something we're really missing out on.
Yeah, and honestly, like studying is super hard work. It's the hardest work I've ever done in my life, and I don't understand how that should not be compensated in some way. Like, because the way we look at like education is kind of like an investment in the youth. So you invest in the future of your society to sustain.
Exactly.
And that's just how it should always be, right? It should always get better, but people kind of get that weird sense of, and I think it's kind of a disease in a lot of. But when I look at a lot of American media, it's like the very individualist kind of way of looking at things. Where I understand it, like in Denmark, like we also have as one of the few countries that have something in with that we can kind of compare to the U.S. We also have free speech laws, so you have free speech in Denmark. We don't have hate speech laws. We do have some kind of regulations for like racism, stuff like that, like the U.S. But we do have the same kind of like constitutionally, we do have free speech, stuff like that. But still, like, it's when you take that to the extreme and you don't like consider societal like impacts that are clearly problems, like student loan crisis and all that kind of stuff. We would probably look at that and just, oh shit, we need a solution to that. And I guess capitalism is not the way to go about that. So we just found a kind of a middle of the road kind of.
Oh, I kind of lost my train of thought. What were you?
I'm seriously, I'm really drunk, so I'm just rambling.
Okay, I'm a little drunk too right now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, well, there aren't any other viewers right now on the stream, so I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, it seems like in America.
You kind of want like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Oh.
Sorry.
Anyways, I got a golden helmet from a zombie. It seems like in America, like there's just like no thought for any long-term planning. You know, it's all just like short-term gains. Just try to get whatever profits we can, like while we can get them. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that, what fuels that underlying philosophy is, yeah, highly individualistic and kind of, I don't know, like antisocial view of how society should be structured, right?
Yeah.
It's just I used to be very liberal, like so I would be right leaning in Denmark. I am not anymore. I'm very left leaning in Denmark
Mm-hmm.
even. But I used to be in my like early 20s, and I used to be very liberal, like kind of like, oh, I was like kind of looking at America and like in the left leaning America is like kind of like the ideal of like liberal left leaning people.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit like Bernie Sanders, but a little more right from that. That was where I was, like a centrist kind of basically, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But recent years have been very like kind of like started to like understand like, oh shit, maybe yeah, that shit doesn't work.
Hmm.
It's kind of a, at least in Denmark, like we don't really have a choice. We kind of have to move with the winds. So I wouldn't really. It's an interesting place we're in because we don't really have a choice. And like, if America does something, we have to follow through. We're in NATO. We have to do whatever America says. And if they don't want to do something, then we don't do it. And if they want to do something, we have to support them, right?
Oh yeah, America really is like the center of the geopolitical like space. It's crazy. Yeah. How?
Yeah, at least in the West. I don't think we want to go the other way of like China. I'm not a huge fan of China.
Yeah. Both of them are bad. Yeah.
But I like America more because of the Constitution, like basic stuff.
We do have
like,
some freedom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think American leftists take for granted like America is pretty good. You know, we do have a lot of freedoms here. Yeah. So I do appreciate that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're on the kind of like I don't know if I can advocate for more left-leaning positions in Denmark because like we wouldn't be able to like do a full like ANCOM society. Like that's not possible. We don't have the capital to like sustain that kind of society with the current global economy the way it is. So we're just kind of like stuck in a sock dem until the bigger powers kind of decide what to do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like when like people like Vosh maybe they kind of criticize like Scandinavian countries for being sock dem. Like, yeah, that's true, but like we don't have a choice. We can't really like do like all out like based socialism because it's that would ruin our economy. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's how I feel, and I think most people would look at that and like, maybe we don't have the weight to like pull like the global economy in a specific way at all because we're on like 5 to 6 million, right?
And it's like in Scandinavia things are going like okay, right? I mean, it's not like you desperately need like a revolution right now, right?
Yeah, but things are. Without sounding too fashy, deteriorating a bit in the. That's nothing to do with fashion, I know. But they're deteriorating in the like public health sector. Like one thing I think a lot of people don't understand like is that we don't have free healthcare for dental care, for instance. We've never had that. A lot of people kind of assume that we have that stuff, but we don't. So, for instance, my mom, she pays a shit ton of money to like get her teeth fixed, and they keep fucking it up. So it's like, it's a lot of money, like 20,000 Danish krona, which is about what's that, like $7,000, I guess. It's just out the window for no reason because stuff like that can happen in the Danish system. So there are still a lot of problems with our system, but it's a lot more nuanced, I feel. Whereas like in America, it's just kind of like. It's kind of a binary. You need healthcare.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like things are deteriorating. I mean, we definitely experience it here in America. We know what you're talking about. But yeah, I just don't know what the solution is. It's a tough situation.
Yeah. Well, I feel for America, like you have a lot more leeway than we do. If I was American, I would just, I don't know. That's also a thing, like with your two-party system, like it's fucking insane. I would feel like I would vote Democrat, but I'd feel really shitty about it because, like in Denmark, at least I have the option to just vote. Like we have a party called Enhedslisten, which is just a communist party. I can just vote for that and not feel bad about it because you're just gonna support the sock dems anyways. So unless they get more votes, then you just support themselves, and that's just how it is. It's a parliamentary system. It works a lot better. My vote matters no matter what I vote for, right?
Yeah, here in America, yeah, you gotta vote for one or the other, or you're cucked. Yeah. It's there are some like political movements here though where it's like yeah, I lost my train of thought again. It's because I'm drunk.
What are you drinking?
I drink we got some wine, some white wine here right now.
White wine. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, the state of like American politics, at least it seems like you can get some shit done with like a parliamentary democracy like what you have. Yeah, I just can't imagine something like that in America.
We also need some kind of like unity of like, because all the parties agreed on COVID restrictions here, like even the like what we would call far-right parties, which would probably just be like
far-right for Denmark,
US,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So they even agreed on like doing like extraordinary kind of like
my dog keeps hurting himself. What the? Because he fell on this spiky shit.
Oh, I thought it was your real dog. I was kind of worried there.
No. I just gotta feed him some meat. I can feed him some rotten meat, which is like the only thing it's good for. I'll just take off these spikes.
Oh man, I remember the last time I tried to like, what's the purpose of rotten meat? You just get sick from it in the game. But apparently that's the one thing you could use it for. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
If there's nothing else to eat, you can eat rotten meat just to like regenerate your health. You know. Yeah. If you're starving and there's nothing else to eat and you're running out of health, you can just eat it just to get your health back. Yeah. So that's another purpose. But it seems the dogs don't mind eating rotten meat, which is convenience. Yeah.
There's no like option to like not pick stuff up, so you just end up with like 64 rotten meat.
Yeah, and then you just have to like throw it away. Yeah. Throw it in some lava.
Yeah.
Oh, here's some coal. Huh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh gosh, baby zombie.
Oh. Baby zombies. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, I hate those baby zombies. I don't know why they exist. They like run super fast, and they're hard targets to hit because they run fast and they're small. They're creepy, yeah. Don't like them. Yeah, well that's the one thing the dog is good for.
Yeah.
Chasing those little shits down. Dude, you're standing on top of the thing. Oh, jeez.
I seem fine.
Yeah. Dogs are funny in video games too. Dude! Jesus Christ. Hey, stop. Oh my god. Oh, here's another thing. You can tell how much health he has by, like, his tail. How elevated his tail is. Maybe I'll just take off all of these little spikes. So, see, his tail right now is like kind of
The middle position.
yeah. Let's see, come over here. Doggy, come over here. If I feed him this, his tail goes up. So that's cute.
Quite neat detail.
I could tell. His tail went up.
Wasn't like Notch was some controversy about him? Like he's kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah, apparently Notch is like kind of a far right guy, and he was cancelled for something. I think like he's no longer in charge of Minecraft. Like someone else is like the CEO of Minecraft now.
Oh yeah, they sold Minecraft like that's a bunch of years ago to Microsoft. Just like for like $2 or $3 billion.
Yeah.
Now just lives in a mansion with like his own. I think he took a picture of it. It's just he has like his own like candy shop within the mansion or something.
That's
like
kind of
candy's
cool.
expensive. Yeah, it's a bit of a. Well, I don't know if you're in your 30s or 40s. Maybe it's not that cool.
Yeah.
Cool if you're in your 20s, I guess.
If you can take all of that, all that sugar, but if you can't, then yeah. Notch, I think, is like kind of overweight, or I don't know.
Oh yeah, totally. I think in Danish we have a term kiksel, which kind of means like I wouldn't call it kitschy, but it's kind of like I don't know. It's just like someone who doesn't know like how to not exactly how to behave, but just like be cool, like the opposite of cool, basically.
They're cringe or
cringe. Yeah, I guess you would call it cringe in today. It's he feels that way. On top of the fact that he's probably a bit of a I wouldn't call him a Nazi, but like
far right, maybe a fascist. Yeah.
It's just like from some. I used to like. I'm gonna be completely honest. I used to watch Sargon of Akkad back in the day. Yeah, I was that guy. I didn't like. I wasn't harassing. I just want to put that out there.
Yeah.
I was like, I was like kind of agreeing with it. I was like, but I was kind of waiting for like a criticism of some sort. Like, okay, who's gonna criticize him? And then when I finally got it, I think it was like a secular talk. I started watching. Oh shit! Okay, finally someone like reasonable. But because I was kind of like, oh, there's no one like to say anything against these type of people. Maybe they're right. I was even like trying to like. I was even at one point listening to like Stefan Molyneux. I was like, oh shit. I felt like, oh, this is kind of weird. This is some weird shit. But he's kind of like making some good points, and that I was just later I just realized that was just the anarchism part of his argument that was making sense for me. It was not the and cap thing. It was
that was
a different thing.
Yeah, the sussy parts of his ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and later, of course, this was back in like 2015, 2016. So later he'd become like kind of a white nationalist. So of course I would never support that shit. But I feel like if there's someone like me who's like who was at that point kind of like a left-leaning liberal who could get confused and kind of persuaded by that kind of rhetoric, I feel like a lot of people kind of got fooled that way during that time, especially during the Gamergate days, where it was kind of a transition in the internet like discourse, I feel, and nothing's been the same since then, basically.
It's
kind of been crazy. And when I look at it, I'm just kind of like, I'm of course cringing at everything that they're saying, because they're just saying the same shit that they used to say back in 2014, 15. It's the same talking points. They're not really changing.
Yeah.
which back then I thought were like kind of oh, these are things that haven't been addressed. Probably they weren't addressed at that point because they didn't need to be addressed, or so people thought. But now they're kind of like everyone's addressed them, and come on, let's get on with it. But they're still getting brought up as like these kind of conservative talking points because they don't really have anything else to talk about than culture war bullshit, right?
Yeah.
I don't even know where I started with this sentiment.
Oh yeah, you are. Hey, it's
Going
totally
off.
fine. Yeah, hey, it means less work for me. Like, this is like the first. If this is like the first segment that I'm doing, then you can just talk all you want, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. But
Oh, sure. Are you arguing like actual segments? Like, it's not a problem for me if you want to do that.
I'm recording this right now, if that's okay.
Totally fine.
Yeah, it's just I can upload this conversation as like a video on its own, maybe, if that's okay with you.
Completely fine.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I am giving my consent under like the influence of alcohol, though. But so.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe in the morning you'll wake up hungover and be like, "Oh shit, why did I talk to that guy?"
Dude, it's probably fine.
Okay.
It's I don't really care that. I've learned to like not care that much about that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
I'm like I say shit when I'm drunk, and some of the stuff I mean and some of the things I maybe haven't thought through, and yeah, I don't plan on making like a big career where I'll get canceled or anything. So
Yeah. Of course.
like if anyone's gonna make it, it's gonna be you. Trust me.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You said you were kind of into streaming, or
I tried it at one point. Just fun. Like I have a like whole setup and everything.
yeah.
But it's more of kind of a. I just like the tech side of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I like setting things up. I don't have a lot of I guess I don't like
You don't have
the
like,
actual streaming part of it. Like the but I have to have a personality and stuff like that. I like
Yeah.
talking to people, but I don't like being like a host of stuff.
you have
I'm
to
not
actually
that
like
kind of
talk to
person.
people to make content and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to find out like if I can do that, or like what I'm good at, or what kind of content I can make. I think I'm doing all right so far. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just as a techie, one thing that like you already did this, but yeah, change the headphone setup because it's just gonna
Yeah.
like the audio is just gonna reverberate with
Yes,
with a
it's just gonna
speaker setup. It's gonna yeah. It sounded like you had two streams going on
Okay.
at one point.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
can get kind of. That's way too dank
Yeah.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know about I feel like streamers should. Well, that's just my own opinion, I guess. I guess you could like show other people's streams, but you should always like bring the content by yourself. So you're not like streaming like Bosch's stream or
Yeah.
Sahan or like the Surf or something like that. You should bring your own content and like comment on it. If you want, well, it depends on what kind of content you want to do, right?
Yeah.
If it wants to be political, you can do political. If you want to do gaming content, you can do that.
Yeah, it could be like a React Andy or something, like watching other people's streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't do a lot of like streaming stuff. I usually just watch YouTube. And
Yeah.
catch the VOD.
Me too. I only got into like watching live streams because of like Hassan and Vosh, basically.
Mm.
And like from there I watched, got into a few other like Twitch streamers and stuff. I was a Destiny fan for a while before his like anti-leftist arc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was I briefly got on that, and I remember the first time I saw Bosch, I was like, I think it was on RedTube, like the subreddit. I was like, a bit too edgy for me. And then I feel like he's come around a lot since then, and that's where it started like, okay, he's actually someone I want to watch. And Destiny, I was like watching like because he did the Jontron thing. I was like, okay, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
Oh yeah.
And then he got crazy at one point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he started his like anti-leftist arc. That's when I stopped following him. I still watch his videos on YouTube from time to time, but yeah. Other than that, yeah, I don't know about him. He's gotten.
I've never gotten. Oh, sorry.
Oh, well, especially after his like, he got departnered from Twitch. He just became like really bitter and like, kind of like depressed or like angry, and he just seems like. Yeah, he's not the guy he used to be.
Exactly. Like it seems like because I can recognize that in a lot. Like you can almost like kind of empathize with it in a like a negative way, like the worst part of yourself, where you just feel like you're just angry with everything, right? And everything needs to be completely logical and consistent with everything because that's the only thing that matters. And no, like people don't matter. It's all about like. Is the argument logically consistent? And the problem with that is I feel at least that doesn't catch everything. It doesn't I guess I just, and I'm sure if I ever talk to this, I'll never talk to him because holy shit.
Yeah.
That would be fucking a nightmare.
Yeah.
No one like no normal person would ever talk to Destiny. Holy shit. That would be yeah.
Maybe I'll talk to Destiny if I do get the chance to talk to him. I will just for the memes, you know. But
yeah, I'll never have to. I have a career where I don't have to care about that shit. It's just kind of an interesting aspect, I guess. Oh yeah. Oh man. But it's like I've watched that several times, like the 3-hour like nightmare debate with Vosh and Destiny.
God, I remember that.
I'm like, I completely understand where they're both coming from. I agree with Vosh more than Destiny, but it's so frustrating because everything is just kind of a holy shit. Everything shows pedantic, I guess.
Yes, pedantic.
It feels like
it's like tautological. They kept saying like the same shit to each other, and they like just didn't get it. So they'd say it again. It's
so much bad faith.
Yeah.
No.
At some point, you just gotta give up and say, okay, we don't understand each other.
Yeah. But I do feel it was like well, that's my bias, I guess. I just feel like Vosh was in the right there. Like maybe it's rhetoric or whatever he wants to call it, but it's I think he like called it correctly, where it's like it was a lot of spite on Destiny's part. It feels like a lot of he feels so angry. It reminds me a lot. I don't know if you know this guy, but like was a guy from like old Web 2.0 or whatever we want to call it, called Maddox. You know him?
No, I might have. I think I heard his name before.
Yeah. So like he used to like do. Well, he still does comedy stuff, but I don't know what he does today. But he used to like do a website called The Best Page in the Universe, and it used to be like, oh shit,
Jesus Christ, eat
no,
some food,
you got it.
Food. Okay, he's good.
He's good. Get some ramen.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, the skeleton. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
He used to do like satirical. Well, he still does this stuff, I guess. But I used to read a lot of his articles on like the best patient in the universe. It was like obnoxiously like it was on purpose being like satirically egotistical, and like he was pretending like he was better than everyone else, right? But I feel like a lot of that kind of way of being, like, I feel like he inspired a lot of people. When I listen to Destiny, he sounds exactly like Maddox did, but when Maddox was being ironic, he was just pretending to be like a giant asshole. But sometimes like Maddox would like mix in like real his real opinions with his comedy, which is also a thing that a lot of conservative comedians do.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you,
so
they don't.
yeah.
Nobody knows like when they're joking, so they can have like plausible deniability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He did this. And that's when I kind of stopped like tuning into his stuff. Was he did this podcast called "The Biggest Problem in the Universe." Great comedy podcast, by the way. It was really funny. But he had this co-host. Maybe you know him. What's it called? Dig Masterson.
Oh, that
He
guy.
used to,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, so he used to do that with him. That's before he even got big. The only thing he'd done before that was some like Dr. Phil episode where he was like intentionally misogynistic. I saw it as kind of a joke, like a parody. Apparently he's just that kind of guy. he believes that kind of shit unironically, right? I thought it was a joke. And I feel like a lot of people
It's that moment where you're like, oh, I
were
thought it
on
was a
that,
joke.
like, yeah, exactly. I feel like so many people thought it was like that, and some of those people have gotten turned over to the other side, where they just kind of start believing it unironically. But yeah, he used to do that podcast with Dick Masterson, and I used to be like a big fan of both of them. I still kind of like Maddox because he kind of distanced himself from all that kind of stuff. And he didn't kind of, he like really distanced. He shut down the podcast when he figured out like, okay, this guy's like completely fucking insane. Let's never do that. But he's still kind of a liberal, so it's kind of you got to take what you can get, right? But I feel like a lot of that kind of rhetoric that he used, like the kind of over sensationalized kind of very in your face kind of this is what I believe, fuck you kind of attitude. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe you have a better word for it. Maybe my vocabulary is not explaining it properly. But it kind of like, I feel like a lot of Destiny does kind of same kind of rhetoric, which I feel kind of, people feel it's very strong rhetorically, but it's not really resonating with me like, you know, like an argumentative way, I guess. I'm rambling, sorry.
No, I get that. It's like I don't know, people I'm trying to think of the word. Like
What's the word?
I don't know.
Hyperbole. I think that's the
Hyperbolic.
yeah, so yeah, hyperbolic language to originally, like for him it was kind of a comedy, like kind of angle to it, where you didn't really know like the hyperbole, was that comedy or was that his actual opinion. Sometimes he'd have good points on like a hyperbolic statement, like Wash sometimes does. He has hot takes from time to time, I'll admit. But that kind of like aesthetic, I guess, is very, I feel like it's more prevalent today in a lot of political discourse, at least on the like American online. This is very online stuff, right? You probably won't get this stuff in like normal political spheres, but yeah, that's the way you kind of sell it to like very online people, I guess.
Yeah, online politics is a brutal game. Yeah, you gotta play it right.